My name is Andrew. I've been a Gym Blue member for 2.5 years, and I train for bodybuilding. I started training when I was 16. I was 5'11" and weighed 108 pounds. So I started lifting to put on size. I was raised in the church. Both my parents, they're super religious. Super religious. They're both Christian. So typical kind of nuclear family, church on Sunday, Bible study on Wednesdays as like youth group. Church camp in the summers. I actually worked as a camp counselor at a church camp for 2 years when I got out of high school. Obviously I've had ups and downs like anybody, especially like I feel like teenage years, coming of age kind of thing, when you start to sort of think for yourself rather than just when you're a kid, it's your parents told you this is how it is, so that's how it is. Recently, I mean, we all struggle with it every day, trying to seek Christ in everything we do. Through the hard times, it was good. I mean, struggling in like bodybuilding prep, I was able to lean on God a lot to sort of take some of that weight off my shoulders. It's hard. I mean, yeah. So it's definitely like a strong Christian presence in the gym. Like, most of the people, I feel like all the people who work here are believers. A lot of the people that I've met through here are believers. Obviously, that Bible study. There's definitely strong Christian presence. They don't necessarily make it like overwhelming or like force it onto you, but it is sort of, they're very supportive in your own journey with faith, journey with Christ. Be the one. I like Be the One because it challenges you to not only be a better version of yourself, but to set that example for others and elevate those around you to a higher standard as well. There's this book I read the first time I did 75 Hard called The Book of Five Rings. It was written in, I think, the 1600s by a Japanese samurai. And there's a quote in there that says, "Once you know the way broadly, you see it in all things." So that kind of reminds me of Be the One. It's sort of setting the standard for yourself, not only in your fitness and training, but carrying that standard throughout the rest of your life. Holding yourself accountable, holding yourself to a higher standard for all your pursuits, not just necessarily in the gym, your fitness, health, lifting. So Gym Blue influences me to hold that standard by it not just being about putting your weights back the right way or wiping down your equipment or putting stuff back where you got it, the cable attachments, whatever it is. But they challenge you to hold that standard for yourself in all aspects of your life and hold those around you to that higher standard. I think there's definitely a sort of sunken cost theory about it where it's like, hey, I've invested this money, you could throw the money away, or you could think of that money as an investment into yourself and holding yourself accountable to show up, make those choices on a daily basis. I also think there's a difference between cost and value. People just see a number and don't think about all that the number provides, not just in the sense of, oh, this place has more square footage, or it has this amenity, or this equipment, this machine, whatever, but especially in the case of Gym Blue, with the environment it provides and the external factors more than just your basic gym equipment. Because, I mean, honestly, if you're saying the problem is that it doesn't have enough equipment for you, I don't think that's the issue. I mean, you can get a good workout at home with no weights. If you're saying it's the equipment they have, you're probably projecting it's an excuse. Especially, I mean, realistically, the way people live now, I mean, say it's $100 here and $30 somewhere else. I mean, in a month, you're spending $70 on stupid shit you will never think about again anyway. Why would you not take that money and make an investment in yourself and your future? I mean, so I'm pretty good friends with everybody who works here, including Dale and Ashley, I would say. I mean, or they're just like good salesmen, which could be, it could be that. Good example, like last year when I competed, they all drove an hour on a Saturday, hour and a half on a Saturday to watch me compete and actually be visible for about 8 minutes maybe to turn around and go home. So, I mean, they saw the work that went into it, and ultimately they see the final product, which shows it's not just the investment, but sort of the fruits of the labor. Them coming to support me on my show, it shows that they don't just think of you as like, a lot of gyms I feel like, or businesses, if you're a customer of theirs, it's sort of, to an extent, you're just kind of a number, you're a monthly income source. It's not, oh, it's Andrew Swinford, it's, oh, there's $80 we're gonna collect on the 28th. So it's sort of a different environment from like your usual commercial gym where it's kind of get in, get out, don't talk to anybody. If you fell down and didn't come in for 3 weeks, nobody would even say anything. It's sort of one of those things where it's like, you feel like these people are your friends. They know you, they know your habits, and that goes right back into the whole accountability side, where you're more likely to be accountable to somebody you know and one of your friends than a random person. I mean, it's kind of cliche, but the simple thing to do is literally just to start. I mean, I think people get intimidated, especially like a place like here, you'd be intimidated, but the reality is when you walk into a gym, most places, majority of the people who are there just want to see you succeed, and they're not sitting there thinking, oh, that person's like fat, or they're out of shape, or they don't know what they're doing. And I mean, if they do, usually they'll try to give it, in my experience, people are more likely to give you advice than to like hate on you. And more so into that, I would say honestly ask for advice from anybody you think might know more than you. It's a long journey, and everybody still learns new things every day, nuances every day. So I would just say start showing up, show up for yourself, be accountable, don't make excuses, and just try to become a little bit better every day. And as long as you stay consistent with that, you'll succeed no matter what. The biggest thing I probably learned from bodybuilding prep is sort of adopting the you versus you mentality, because in the case of bodybuilding, you never know who's going to show up on that day. And I mean, at the end of the day, you can push yourself to your limit, show up as best as possible, do everything, check all the boxes, and still lose. So you have to really make yourself comfortable with that fact that even if you do everything right, you can still lose. So at the end of the day, all you can compare yourself to is yourself. So holding yourself accountable to be a better man than you were yesterday, or woman than you were yesterday, and just getting a little bit better every day, and that compound interest can change your whole life. It's a combination of probably the standard and the lifestyle. So like I said, you see the standard they hold. Everybody holds each other here to a very high standard. Like I said, it's not just about putting the weight back in the right spot, angling the words, whatever. That's the start of it, but it sort of lays the groundwork for you to have that high standard for yourself in all aspects of your life. For example, like not just the training, but also the nutrition side, keeping consistent on your P's and Q's, staying consistent in the gym, but also the sort of lifestyle that they hold outside of here. You see all the other people in here chasing their goals, the staff, you see them setting a standard for themselves, hold themselves to a high bar, and it sort of just, it's more about the environment of holding yourself to a higher standard and elevating those around you to do the same.